Hello guys. I'm finally back. I'm happy to be back. I'm sorry I don't have a set schedule. And the last time I uploaded was 5 days. Chapter 16 will also be out today. The reason why I didn't have this put in here is because I didn't realize that I hadn't uploaded it because I haven't checked YouTube in a bit. Um, I really thought I had, but like I have it all edited here. So yeah. Anyways, let's get into it. Mastermind Rise of Anarchy. Written by Clouds. My head in the clouds, not coming down. Read by MHA. Chapter 17. Enjoyment. Summary. Just having a little fun. Inko didn't know why she was here. Rei Todoroki was crazy, driven insane by her years of abuse from her husband. Even the doctor said so, and Inko had seen it for herself. Only a crazy woman could look at her two sons turning into murderers and say she was proud of them. Inko had no reason to talk to her again. But, at the same time, none of the other families she tried apologizing to had even let her in the door. A few had cussed her out from the porch or tried throwing things at her, but the vast majority had simply seen through the window and refused to even open the door. She didn't blame them. She probably wouldn't want to talk to her either if she was in their position. But still, she wished someone would talk to her. Even if Mitsuki hated her at this point, even if she wouldn't say so, considering the fact that she had called once since the week Isuko had been arrested, she knew she deserved it for being such a terrible mother. But the fact was that Inko Midoriya was lonely. Hence why she was walking through the halls to the room of the only person who was willing to actually talk to her, no matter how crazy that person was. Maybe the isolation was making Inko crazy as she was. She knocked lightly before pushing the door open. Hello, Ray? I was wondering if it was alright if I. She trailed off, realizing that Ray actually wasn't alone. Uh, I can come back later if not a good time. Ray just smiled. It's always a perfect time, Inko. Come on in. I know that about Toya and Sho, but have you met my other two children? These two are Fuyumi and Natsu, my middle child, Fuyumi and Natsu. This is Inko Midoriya, Isuku's mother. Oh, the boy Natsuo waved awkwardly. Hey. Natsuo, don't be impolite, the girl scolded. I'm sorry about him. It's a pleasure to meet you. She seemed like a sweet girl, and Inko gave her a sad smile. Likewise, I wish it were under the better circumstances. Really? Natsuo scoffed. You want to go through an awkward meet the parents dinner while Shoto and his boyfriend try not to attack other faces for 2 whole hours? Believe me, this is preferable. I, Inko stammered, looking towards Ray for some help, but she only laughed. I'm sure it wouldn't have been all that bad, Natsu. Ray chuckled. I'm sure that Shoto and Izuku would have been very polite if we'd all gotten dinner together. Hey, Natsuo, Hey, Natsuo cut thoughtfully. Do you think if we had dinner had happened before the old man kicked the bucket, they would have killed him before dessert? It probably would have been a dinner and a show. Inko gasped, and Fuyumi slapped her brother upside the head. Natsuo, you can't just say something like that. What? Natsuo laughed. You can't just say it wouldn't have been entertaining. Well, no, it would have been. But that's besides the point, Fuyumi insisted. Most people don't joke about their fathers being murdered. Natsuo rolled his eyes. Yeah, well, most fathers don't neglect half their children while training the other two as half to death, so I don't think we're really normal. Aren't you angry? Inko couldn't help but wrap her head around any of this. They were joking about their son's crimes like it was this part of their father's death, which was just another Tuesday. I know he wasn't the best man, but he still was your father. Don't you hate your brothers and my son for what they did? Hate them? Natsuo scoffed. Why would I hate them for doing something I've been thinking about doing myself since I was 8? But Inko looked Inko looked to Fuyumi, who shrugged. I wouldn't have put it so harshly, she sighed, and I feel guilty ever saying it. But Natsuo has a point. What Toya and Shoto did was evil, obviously. But I can't blame them for wanting him dead. As terrible as it sounds, and the world is probably better without him. I teach elementary kids, and if any of my students were going through what he put us through, well, I don't know what I'd do. It's alright if you don't feel the same way, Ray said kindly, grabbing her hand. I understand we're a bit strange, but we don't hate your son or you. Inko exhaled sharply, and she couldn't help but smiling, a few Midoriya tears at the words. She shouldn't be happy about this. The family was crazy, but had anyone told her they didn't hate her since Izuku was arrested? It had been rare even before that, with what giving birth to a quirkless child, and as much as she hated where it was coming from, she couldn't help her natural reaction to the acceptance. It was nice. She chuckled and wiped away the tears the best she could. Sorry. You said you teach elementary school, Fumi? What's that like? We're going to get caught, Spinner pointed out. Oh, come on, that's half the fun, Press sounded delighted. Rubbing it in the hero faces if they can't catch us? Delicious. Plus, maybe this one will go viral too, Shoto said, waving his phone in Spinner's face. Izuku will be so proud. Can you really say it'll go viral when it gets taken down 20 times? Hawks asked. 19. Dabi grimaced. You remember one of those Shiggy accidentally deleted it. I thought it was an old game file, Shigaraki scowled. It was redundant old data. Old versions should be deleted. But seriously, making videos? Spinner shook his head. I mean, it's fun, don't get me wrong, but why? It humanizes us, Magni said. I've been talking a lot to the kids that attend my meetings and their parents, teachers, everyone, and trying to convince them that villains aren't just monsters. Mastermind did show that wasn't the case, but we still got a long way to go. Sure, Shoto posting stupid videos of stair sledding might be a little ridiculous, but it shows that if we've done some bad things, we aren't evil. Or do you really want us to go back to society where everything used to be black and white, even though that's not the way the world works? I guess it makes sense, Spinner said, but why a parking garage? It fits the aesthetics, Toga said, bouncing down the hall final sets of stairs. And there's so many places to hide. Do you know how many people bled out in parking garages? Why do I get the feeling that you're responsible for some of those? Dobby said dryly. Come on, let's get this over with, pretty bird. You're on the cameras. I mean, you're basically a drone, right? Hawks glared at him. You do realize I'm a bird of prey, right? I could literally control the camera with one feather. Do feathers even register on touch screens? Shoto asks. I mean, if they do, does that mean companies expect a lot of birds to be using their phones? Don't trust birds, Twice yells. It's so cool. Tell me more. Shoto laughed as Hawks and Dobby started arguing, and wouldn't stop until Shigaraki threatened to dust them both. He wished Izuku could be there, but somehow he didn't think his boyfriend would want him just moping around while he was gone. And more people got on their side, the easier. It would be great to get him out of prison and keep him out. Sho, Dobby yelled. Get over here. We need a nice slide. Coming. Shoto ran to help. Shoto ran and started following Toga's direction. To put his ice, he missed Izuku, but Shoto hoped that he could at least find some way of entertaining himself while stuck in Tartarus. Shoto was 90% sure that Midoriya was using them as a form of entrance. The press wouldn't allow him to talk, and none of the hero detectives have brought any news of the outside world. so it was like maybe he wasn't getting anything of accepting their visits. But every time Shota came, the kid was just sitting there, smiling through the glass, like he didn't have a care in the world. "Hello, Eraserhead." Midoriya was the same always, looking relaxed, as if they weren't guns at the walls that would kill him without hesitation if he made one wrong move. "How's Eri doing?" "Do you really think I'm going to answer that question when I haven't even answered it before?" Shota depanned. "Isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over but expecting different results?" "Oh, but I am getting different results," Midoriya answered gleefully. "I'm glad she's doing better. I know you're worried about her idolizing me. What changed?" Shota took a Shota had to school his expression to hide the shock, but based off of Mastermind's smug smile, he'd seen it anyways. He'd gotten all that from watching Shota's body language. Well, he supposed there was always the possibility that someone had told him, but Shota hadn't told anyone about this conversation with Eri. So they either had a much larger security leak than they wanted to believe, or Midori was trying to get under his skin. He'd have to investigate both possibilities later. "Nothing's changed for you, it seems," Shota replied. "Nezu's still beating you at chess?" Most of the time," Midoriya shrugged. "But you learn just as much as you do by learning. You know that, Eraserhead. How much did you learn from losing your friend back in high school?" Shota took a deep breath. It wasn't the first time a villain had brought up Shirakumo in an attempt to throw him off. "About as much as you learned from losing your friendship with Bakugo back in elementary school." A scowl crossed Midoriya's face momentarily, and Shota gave a small smile. He still wasn't in the lead, but they weren't even. But Shota had won a point in whatever game Midoriya was trying to play, and that at least was worth something. A second after, Midoriya laughed. "I guess you learned to look out for yourself too. Maybe you're not so bad after all," Eraserhead. "I don't know about that," Shota replied smoothly. "I'm still a hero." Finally, chapter 16. I told you I'd get it out today. Should be out at like 5 p.m. Actually, it's not, because my stupid computer is not hooking up to the internet. Hopefully I can get it done by 6 p.m. But anyway, yeah. The comeback Aizawa had is crazy. "Oh yeah, I'm so proud of my sons for killing my husband. You know, for Yumi and Natsuo, love it." Somebody commented about Mama Midoriya joining the league. I think that'd be a really good idea. I know I responded to them, but if you didn't see their comment, go like it now. I'm joking. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next chapter. I don't know what chapter it is. I think 18. Yeah, 18. See you guys in chapter 18. Peace. Where's the stop button? Oh, there it is.